here in Oregon in the Walla Walla Whitman National Forest, and I thought that you all would like to see how I find a campsite in the national forest. So you can do this at most national forests, and generally the rule is 14 days overnight for free. A lot of times you're crossing cattle grates like we're doing here. And this is going to turn into a dirt road real quick. There's the sign, says National Forest Boundary right there. The dogs are really excited. They'd much rather stay in the forest or anywhere that's natural. We've been at rest areas for the last 3 nights, and we've done a lot of miles, over 200 every day, and stopping, you know, to get food and to get gas. I'm actually kind of sore from driving so much, and I can tell the dogs are really bored with staying in the rest areas, and Dodger hates the big trucks at the rest areas. So we're pretty excited to be in the national forest here because we're gonna find a nice spot, and usually you can find pretty secluded spots. You know, you got to check your apps, check the reviews of these places to find out what kind of rigs you can get into these places. For the most part, vans, you know, you're gonna be able to back out of anything you get stuck in. But with the trailer, you got to be a lot more picky. So I really do a lot of research as far as looking at reviews and then learning how to read the different reviews to know where I can go and where I can't with the trailer. Like this road right here is a little bit rocky. I've actually been up this road a little bit before, and I camped right at the top of this hill right here. You can see how this road's kind of rocky, but it's doable as long as I go pretty slow. So we're gonna go up this road, and I can almost put it in 4x4 here because it's a little steep. It's not gonna hurt to do that. So I just switched the truck into 4x4. So that's gonna help us get up here a lot more confidently. I'm really excited about being here in the forest. It's supposed to be 100 degrees just about 10 miles south of here. And I can already smell the pine trees up here. It's quiet. You know, we've been in busy rest areas a lot. So this is gonna be a huge relief for us. And we can stay here, like I said, a couple weeks. So when you come out here, you just wanna read the rules of the different national forests. And like I said, read those reviews on the apps. I use a couple apps. The main one is iOverlander. There's other great apps like All Stays and Free Roam, and you can get a lot of information just reading the reviews on there. I'm gonna pull into this little spot up here, and then I'm gonna get the dogs out, and we're gonna hike around a little bit and see if I can find a really nice spot that has some good shade. But I don't want to drive down too far on this road without scouting it out first. And if you have a scout vehicle or a bicycle, you can park somewhere that's safe and then take your scout vehicle. All right, I'm gonna pull in right here. Yeah. This is a good little spot. You can just wait it out. This is a good camping spot too, but there's not a lot of shade. So I'm just gonna park here, and like I was saying, then you can go on a little excursion with your scout vehicle. We're just gonna walk the road a little bit. You know, I gotta take the dogs for a walk anyway. So if you have a trailer, you can detach it and then take your truck or whatever your towing vehicle is, take your truck down the road and scout out a really good spot. And you're just looking for safety, safe spots, scouting out a good spot, a spot you want to camp at. And so that's what we're gonna do right now. So I'm gonna take you along on this hike, and we're gonna scout out and see what me and the dogs can find. And it's probably just gonna be a quarter mile, half mile down this road. And we just wanna make sure there's nobody camped in the spots, and that we can get the trailer in and out safely, and that the road isn't too rough, basically. I just want to give you an idea of what it's like when you pull into the forest, kind of how you should navigate, especially if you have a trailer, so you don't get in any sticky situations. I've been in a few sticky situations, and when you have something big like a trailer, and if you had a fifth wheel or a big motorhome, then it sucks being in a sticky situation. So just take your time, and that's what we're gonna do here. And I'm super excited that we're in the woods because we got all the time now, and it's peaceful here already, and it's quiet. It smells great, and the trees are awesome. Yes, Todd. Thank you, yes. Okay, so this is the site that's right across from our trailer where I temporarily parked. This is a really good campsite right here, actually, but there's just no shade. There's just a couple trees here for shade. It's not quite enough. So that's my main thing right now, is thinking about shade. And I do want a little bit of sun because I have solar panels, so I want to keep my batteries fairly charged. But this is kind of a decent spot right here already. I can hear the freeway down here, so it's not super quiet, but at nighttime it'll get a lot quieter for sure. So this spot would work pretty good. There's a lot of kind of junk in this campsite. There's like some, I don't know if that's a fridge or something over there. It does look like a fridge. There's a fire pit here with some shoes. That's kind of strange. There's nobody camped here. Some nasty stuff in the garbage. And some nasty stuff in that fire pit there. But that doesn't look like an official fire pit. And then there's some boards and a pallet. It sucks when people bring pallets out because they get burnt, and then every one of these nails or screws will end up in your tires. So some campgrounds, they specifically ban the pallets. You're not even allowed to bring them in. And I kind of like that because nails and screws, they get everywhere. And see, there's one right there. But I mean, that's nothing. They're probably all over here. Sometimes I get a magnet and I sweep before I park somewhere, just to see what kind of nails and screws I pull up. And I mean, I've pulled up handfuls, like huge handfuls of nails and screws before. Certain camping areas are cleaner and some are dirtier. This one's not really that dirty. It's just wood. People will burn it, but the fridge is kind of weird. I haven't really seen a fridge out before in the forest. So someone may have been staying here a long time, or who knows. I don't know, I'm watching Breaking Bad right now, and they don't have a trailer in Breaking Bad, but they got a motorhome, and so they're out there cooking meth. So that's kind of on my mind lately, is like, sometimes there's strange people out here. Usually there's not really, but sometimes there are. I see someone left their oil here, so someone probably did an oil change and they left their oil here. Like, that's, just take it with. Or actually that's an antifreeze container, so who knows what's in there. The dogs are so happy already. The dogs haven't been able to run around because we've been staying at rest areas for the last couple nights, 3 nights, and they don't get to run around. There's a piece of carpet here. So this campsite is just kind of nasty to me. It's like not someplace I want to stay. Look at this interesting pattern of dirt here. It's like there was some sort of, maybe like a permanent kind of structure here. See how it's like a square? Someone built a chair. So it's real possible someone was squatting here in this spot. We're not really near any big cities, but so I'm gonna keep hiking down the road and see if I can find a better spot. This would be a really good spot though, because I could put the trailer right here in the shade of that tree. And then the rest of the camp is pretty sunny. But it is close to the freeway anyways, so it's a little noisy, so we're gonna keep walking. Let's go. Come on, Echo, let's go. I don't usually call for Dodger when it's a long distance because when he's that far away, his hearing's not so great anymore. You know, he's getting old. But other than that, he's pretty much in tip-top shape. I'm pretty happy. He's right over there. He's right there. So I just count on him to keep his eye on us, and he follows us. I can give him a big wave too and he'll come, but he'll stay with us. That's how we do things now. You just kind of have to change as your pets change. Now what's coming up here is something I wasn't expecting. I could see a structure, like a temporary structure made out of blue tarps, like a kind of like a box structure. And so I don't know, maybe I've been watching too much Breaking Bad, but it's making me have kind of bad vibes. We'll walk past it and I'll get some video of it. It could just be nothing, you know, it could be someone with a nice little camp and they just set up a little shade structure. You can kind of see it here, right over there. It's right there. So we'll hike up on it. We gotta hike down this road anyways to check out the sights. So I don't know, just when someone builds like kind of a structure rather than just a couple tents or a trailer or a motorhome or a truck camper or even a car, it's like, they might be staying here a long time. And that doesn't really mean anything bad necessarily, but you never know. It just kind of gives you different vibes. It's probably nothing. I've probably just been watching too much Walter White. All right, so now I'm just checking out the condition of the road. Because if I get to a spot in this road where there's a big rut or big rocks, something like that, that's gonna give me problems with the trailer, then it's basically, that's as far as I can go, and there's no point in scouting out any further. This road is kind of everything as far as like where I can camp. If I can't traverse this road with my truck and trailer, then any campsites beyond that spot are dead to me. And then I also have to have a spot where I can turn around if I need to turn around. So this road's looking pretty decent. It's not too bad. It's a little, there's a few potholes and it's getting a little rocky right up here where there's a little incline, but it looks doable from here. So as we walk it, I can just check it to make sure I want to bring the trailer up here. It's already pretty hot out here. It's only about 11 in the morning. So finding a spot with good shade is kind of imperative. And you know, this road, there's a little incline here. Kind of goes down that way, but it's not bad. I can bring the trailer through here. Just go slow, it's not gonna be a problem. And then I'm checking out this campsite right here, and there's a fair amount of shade. It's pretty level, and if it's not perfectly level, I can get it level because I have some levelers I can put under the trailer tires. There's a really nice big field out here. I can still kind of hear the highway, but it's a lot further away now than it was before. I think this is gonna be our campsite. Now, what I should really do is reserve this spot by putting some stuff here, but there's not a lot of people out, so I'm just gonna risk it and hope nobody takes this spot. But I should have hiked up here with a couple things like a camp chair or a bucket or a cone or something, and then you just stick it right here in the spot so no one takes the spot while you're just going back to your rig and bringing it back up here. But it's only a quarter mile that way, so it's only, I'll be back here in about 10 minutes. And then I got to make sure that if someone is here, that I can turn around if I need to. And I can. There's a little driveway here I can turn around. And there's another spot here I can turn around if I need to. And if not, then I'm going to have to keep going straight down this road. And I don't know what's down there, so I got to hope that nobody comes and camps in here while I'm hiking back and picking up the rig and driving back. See, the dogs are getting hot. It's pretty warm. I mean, it's got to be over 90. It's 91 or something. And it's going to get hotter. So having some shade is going to be really nice. So with that in mind, I need to make sure, because the sun's going to set over in this direction, so I got to make sure that there's some amount of shade. And if I put it right here, I've got trees on either side of me. And if I put it here, there's trees on either side of me here. So I may have to adjust, like move the trailer around a little bit once I figure out where the shade is actually going to lie. But for right now, I really like this spot. That's kind of a good spot right over there too. This is really just one campsite. Once I pull in here, no one else is going to really pull in. It's not crowded here. I haven't seen anybody else except those people with the blue tarp. And it turns out that blue tarp, it was just someone built a lean-to, and then they had a tent next to it and a hammock. So it didn't give me really that weird of vibes walking by. But, you know, you never know. And they had a motorcycle. So I'm going to go back, get the rig, and then pull in here and start setting up camp. Oh, it just got super hot. The dogs are panting. I'm sweating. I got the truck in 4x4 right now just to get up this little hill. It's really not bad. I've been up a lot worse before. But it's kind of rocky just from people spinning out their tires here because it's a little bit steep. But it's a real short distance just to get up this little steep part, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm just trying to go really slow so I don't shake things around too much. So now we're gonna pull into our campsite right here. These guys are really hot. I mean, I'm hot too. I don't know what happened, but it just got super hot. So there's our campsite that we just scouted out on foot. And since I already know which way I'm gonna pull in, yeah, this is good. I'm gonna have to get out a little bit just to check the clearance on the trailer because there's just a tiny dip right here. So I'm kind of watching the back of the trailer in the mirrors, and I'll probably get out. Yeah, I'm gonna get out and just take a look. So before I pull in, one of the things I want to do is just check the ground for basically for nails and screws and things like that. And if I see a bunch, then I know I should probably clean it up first. But I don't see anything right now. This seems like a much cleaner campsite. There's a few fire rings. And one thing is, if you get close to the fire rings, you're gonna find glass in there. And a lot of times you're gonna find all kinds of nails and screws. So if you see any old fire rings, what I try to do is not ever drive over any old fire rings. But this looks pretty good here. I don't see anything bad. I see some shells and some 22 shells. I'm gonna pull in right here and put the trailer right here in this spot of shade, which should last for a few hours anyway. I feel like Han Solo. This spot will do until I get the shelter built for my dogs. The sun's coming down. I ended up moving the trailer back here in this little nook because this tree right here and this tree over here and these trees blocked most of the sun as it was coming down. So this side of the trailer got a little bit of sun. So it was getting a little warm. It's 100 degrees out here and it was 92 4 inside the trailer at the hottest point. Now the sun's going down, so it's starting to really cool off out here. But it's still 88 inside the trailer right now. I'll probably run the air conditioner tomorrow. But man, this is a really cool spot. I'm not sure if you can hear it right now, but there's a train over this way. So I'm gonna hike out there tomorrow, probably in the morning, and just check out the train tracks. It might be kind of cool to see. But this worked out really good. And one of the things I would remind you to do when you get into your campsite here in the National Forest is check your cell phone signal before you set up camp. So now we got all this view to ourselves. I'm gonna take these dogs for a little hike. And this National Forest camping is some of the best camping you can get. And if you have something smaller than a trailer, like a van or smaller rig, then you can go so many places. There's all kinds of dirt roads out here, and most of them are pretty decent. Especially when it's dry like this, you can take your rig all over the place and find so many different cool campsites. But for us, even with a trailer, we've been able to find a lot of cool spots. This is really the kind of camping we like to do. The dogs love it out here. What do you think, Echo? So hey, if you like the Got Out channel, hit that like button. We like to know you're watching. Let us know you're watching. And hopefully you can get out soon on your own. We've been living out on the road for almost 2 years now. And I'm just trying to show our adventures, share some tips, and have a little fun. It's relaxing out here, and we like to spread that around. So green out here. It's crazy. I'm just hiking this road a little bit just to see if I can find any other good campsites. Kind of looks like there's one right here. It's so green here. It's like such a good time of the year. And the sun's going down right now. I'm only about half a mile from camp. But this happens a lot where I start hiking and then I just want to keep hiking because it's so cool. It's just so neat. There's a bunch of elk scat here. We did see one deer. Luckily Echo didn't see it because he was off his leash. He probably would have chased it. But I can smell fresh scat here. So we might run into something here in a minute. Now this road's getting a little bit sketchier here, so I probably wouldn't, I could bring the trailer through this. Obviously not when it's muddy. But this isn't my favorite kind of road to bring the trailer down. It's also getting a little bit narrow with the trees on the sides. But I could do it. So if there's a really good spot back here, I might possibly think about it. It's getting dark back here. I mean, I didn't really know the forest was like this out here. Like, that's a dark forest, a thick green. So now here's a tree, just a small tree that's coming down over the road. I'd have to get that out of the way to get the trailer through here. And this is starting to get too rough now, basically. These trees' branches are in the way, so I couldn't really do it. It's a little muddy here, and there's some fresh prints you can see from elk and deer. This road's a no-go for me for the trailer.